What's up, friends? It's time for another LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed video. Today we're talking about the best team in Arena, the unbeatable, most amazing god tier team in Arena. Well, it's Castle, but no, it's not Castle. Well, it's gotta be Pirates. No, it's not. Wait, is it Ninjago? No, it's not. It's a space team. It's a space team. So, this disclaimer, it's not gonna work if you just stick a whole bunch of space units in there and like, this is a god tier team. Bagel said so. It's gonna get stomped into oblivion. We'll explain why this team is working so well, but this was shared with me. This is the #1 player. People are having apparently a hard time beating this player. And they're just using a space team comprised of what many people consider some low-tier bad units. However, there is a reason that this team is working so well. Let's talk about it. Let's go here. Let's go to space units. And it's not just about the units, though. It's not just about the units. Because Locust is an okay unit. Like, here we go with the space units. I wish they would keep the filter on if you put a filter. Right, so Locust is an okay space unit. I personally like using him. Gorwell is a great unit. I don't really use it yet. I don't have Gorwell's alt unlocked just yet. Major Kartovsky, I see some mixed opinions on Major Kartovsky. I like him because he's got he's got an AOE that removes stealth, which Ninjago before the Lloyd nerf was like, you know what, I gotta build this guy, right? But now that the Lloyd nerf is like, okay, I can just hit Lloyd and kill him and then move on to the next unit, right? Spaceman Reed, which has some mixed opinions on him as well. He's a single target DPS unit. He increases his pep and things like that. Wait, doesn't he increase his pep? I thought he increased his pep somehow. Somewhere. He's got a stun, single target stun here. And then he has this, gains crit chance up. He reminds me of like a space version of, yeah, he does increase his pep. Reed increases pep by 15% if there's another active space hero. Crit chance increased by 5% for each classic space. Now here's the thing though, space, there's not like a whole lot of synergy with space right now. And some of the weaker units, like I know people are going to be like, Vega, what are you talking about? Space units are some of the weakest units in the game. Like they are some of the weakest units in the game. I agree. Gorwell's good, Locust is good. The other ones are usable, but for example, Blacktron Dwayne is not really that strong. Dr. Kelvin is basically hot doo-doo, right? We need some better space units in the game for some better space synergies to build like stronger space teams. However, when the space teams when there's actually better units coming in for space teams, they're going to be broken overpowered. Because you see this is the player's already at #1. I mean, it's a whale player. It's not like a player like free to play. It's like, no, it's a whale player. They have Gorwell up. Gorwell, you can't even farm nodes for Gorwell. If you go to Star Up, find tiles, you can only buy. So they have Gorwell completely maxed. You know they're not free to play player, right? You know they're not free to play player. So really, the space units aren't even really that crazy strong by themselves. Locust is a tank taunt / unit. Kartovsky's got the AoE, Spaceman Reed has got the single target burst damage, Commander Cole's got that nice, he's a usable unit, even though he wasn't in that specific team. He's got this defense up here. He's a decent enough unit to be actually able to be used in a space team. However, the other two are not. Again, I just said that again. He's using Highwayman as his 5th unit, which is not a space unit, but it's just a big, strong, single-target DPS unit to come in and nuke things. However, the big thing to take away from this is not the units that he's using specifically. He does want the space tag on them. He's using a really, really overpowered set. So let's take a look at this set. Let's take a look at what this set does and why it's so strong. Because it's really this set that is carrying everything else, right? Okay, Galaxy Explorer. We have, what's the tags on that? Explorer, Space, Classic, Space, Techie. And then we have here, first skill, not anything too crazy. At the start of a space hero's turns, if they have 0 debuffs, they have an 80% chance to gain skill up 1 for 1 turn. Okay, that's okay, but it's not like game-changing, oh my god, broken OP. This one, skill 2, light speed passive. At the start of battle, Explorer heroes increase their speed by 2% per active classic space hero, and have a 30% chance to gain dodgy. That's not bad. That's pretty nice. We go here to system restart. Whenever a space hero deals damage to a foe, there's a 50% chance to clear all buffs from that foe. I'm sorry, what does this say again? whenever a space hero, you know the meta that we're in right now, it's a castle meta, right? You know how many buffs they have on every single unit. Buff, 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 buff. 50% chance, whenever space hero, and he's got 4 space heroes out of the 5, right? Space hero deals damage to a foe. 50% chance to clear all buffs, not one buff, like the house set, all buffs. All of them. For each buff cleared, the foe's pep is reduced. Like, for example, let's say you use this against the Jester Go-Go. Jester has 5 buffs. Pep is reduced by 3% for each buff. So, that's 15% pep decrease, and Hero's pep is increased by 15% as well. That's really OP, especially when you consider that there's an AoE in that Team Rager. Kartovsky's got an AoE in there. That's actually, no. Locust has a few AoEs as well. There's a lot of AoE strips. A lot of AoE strips in there. More than I actually realized, because I wasn't really even thinking about the Locust strips. I was thinking about the Kartovsky strips. Yeah, I mean, Highwayman's not going to do any strips, any craziness to there, but this is an OP set for AoE space. I mean, Locust mixed with this set, with the strip. Locust is basically an AoE stripper, which right now in the current meta is something that's really, really, really strong. And then we have, if that wasn't enough, I can work with this passive whenever a techie hero gets a debuff, they're peppy. So Kartovsky's a techie hero. Like Zane is a techie hero too, like the robots. Their pep is increased by 5% whenever they get a debuff. And for each active space hero, their grit is increased by 3%. There's another one though, as if that wasn't enough. Anytime they get a debuff, so they're strong against pirates, because pirates like to do debuffs, right? So but this is only for techie, this is only Kartovsky. However, whenever a classic space hero gets a debuff, they have a 25% chance to clear all debuffs from themselves and gain 40% chance to gain debuff immunity for 2 turns. Pirate units come in there trying to debuff. It's like, no, I'm gonna cleanse, I'm gonna give immunity. Castle units come in, they try to attack castle units. It's like they strip all the castle units buffs. It's crazy. It's really such a crazy team that this team is doing so good in Arena. And it's a space team, which most people consider to be not that effective. A team like, oh, I don't want to build a space team. Space is super weak. Like, by itself, like, yeah, maybe these units are not as OP as others, but in the current meta, against things that debuff, like the pirates have the debuffs, right? And especially against, right now, you just need to be really good against castle units, King's Court units, and all of these strips with this space set, with the Galaxy Explorer, is really, really solid. I can only imagine that space is going to be like extremely dominant when better space units come in. Because if we think about it, like the units by themselves are not really too crazy OP. If we have like a moderately crazy OP space unit or two come into the game, then this is going to be this is going to demolish. Like this is going to be so scary. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what's going on, kind of explain a little bit more about it. This team running. Did I do anything that I needed to show that set for? No, did I? Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the classic space, or not the classic space. I mean, because some of the things is like, well, this only works if it's a techie. This only works if it's classic space. But I just wanted to show you guys that team because it's been doing really good. It's been demolishing in Arena. I mean, it's a pay-to-win player, right? They definitely went through and tried to upgrade the stuff as much as possible. But just cool to see something people like, these units aren't good, and then those units that are not good are sitting at rank 1, right? So anyway, just thought it was cool. Wanted to give a brief overview rundown of why it's effective. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.